Good morning, everyone. So I'm officially done with my Rhode Island comic book tour. It was okay. The last shop I went to was just a little unfortunate, but they did give me like someone who was looking to sell a collection locally, and I was like, oh, I haven't really like done that before, but let me reach out to that person. And so I texted the person, and I was like, what do you have? And he sent some photos, and he had some big books. So he had Giant Size X-Men 1, X-Men 94, whole other early Claremont issues. And I was like, yes. And he was like, how much do you want for these? And I was like, well, I want to know what else you have. And he was just giving me like the runaround. And so it was a little weird. And so I was like, hey, do you just want to like chat on the phone? And he was like, yeah. And so it was just really weird because I was just like, name your price. It'll like allow me to know what you want for them. And so he was like, well, I'm not a professional grader, but they're in great condition. So I know my eyes really well. So it was just really weird. And so I was like, okay, just tell me your price. And so he was just kind of like talking through stuff. You can tell like he knew what graded comics were. He knew like conditions of books, but wasn't a professional grader. And so I was like, okay. And I was looking at going sales for Giant Size X-Men, anywhere from like 3,000 to 4,000 raw. And so he was saying, these books have never been bagged and boarded. I was like, cool. So they probably all have, the brown marks around all the books when you showed me. And I was like, yep, that's true. And then I was like, you probably have like soft corners. There's no like sharp edges. And then he was like, okay, I want 10,000 for the Giant Size X-Men. And I was like, you're not going to get this. He was like, I might. And I was like, good luck. Go for it. I'm not going to pay for that. And he's like, well, I have some other books. Do you want to look at that? And at that point I was like, you're just overcharging everything, that I have no interest in wanting to try to like push haggle to even fair market value prices. And so at that point it just seemed a little weird, and he was selling the collection on behalf of someone, and it just seemed a little just like, did you find these books from some guy and just gonna keep the money? So it just seemed a little weird. So I was like, I'm not going to roll with it. So thanked him for his time, and I'm just going to see what the shops have. I haven't found anything like super big. And I'll do more formal, this is what I found at the stores. Maybe when I get back, just so you can all see the books. And then fingers crossed that the stores I go to today and throughout the next week have some promising options, so we will see. So I'm gearing up to head up to Mass, and we're going to hit up all the Massachusetts comic book stores, or at least a majority of them. So let's see what we find. Checking out Dark Star Comics in Central Falls, Rhode Island. So this was the third printing black and white variant of Ultimate X. And then we had issue 1 as well. Got them from cheap. I found issue of Submariner number 3 for $8. It's not in bad condition. I have one that I paid $20 for that's in worse condition. This was Score. It looks pretty darn good. Probably like a 9. But I know that this book is blowing up, and got it for $4. And then picked up this for my brother. So, okay. So I want to find some bigger books, so let's see if we can find them at some other shops. Next up is Wild Time Comics in South Attleboro, Massachusetts. Well, that one was kind of a bust, unfortunately. They were in the process of moving from one store to another, and you couldn't go through anything. They did have a Submariner second appearance of Tiger Shark, but I looked at it and it smelt moldy and it had really bad edge tanning, so I opted out for that. So you win some, you lose some. So on to the next store. Now we're at Laughing Shield Comic Shop in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Okay, did okay. The store had mostly new books, but I was really impressed. They were a big CBCS grading store, and I was a little unsure with what they were grading, but the store was very, very into DC, so there wasn't much Marvel there. But I did grab the first full Bishop for $9. Not bad. It's in pretty good condition. Whenever I see this, I usually pick it up. I have some big memories of this. Was like sort of like the first big read for myself. I think it might be the first Monet. And then this, always snag this when I see it. Just sort of specking as this might be worth a little something down the road. This one's definitely not super mint, but it's close. But it's first appearance of Havoc and Cyclops' brother. I forget the name, but it's the Wolverine variant of it. But doesn't go as much as the other one. And then this X Factor here. So okay, nothing super high end. So okay. Rubber Chicken Comics in Bellingham, Massachusetts. Let's see what they got. I actually was able to get some dupes of some issues of Something is Killing the Children and a couple other books that I already have, but these are like sort of the older back issues. So I scored a Submariner number 4. It's pretty beat up, but I got it for cheap. I've just been snagging these when I see them. So Young Avengers number 7. I saw this one too. These were like $2. Young Avengers number 6. And then I always grab these What If X-Men ones. So snag those. Last stop for today is New England Comics, the Brockton location. So there's a couple of these in the States. So let's see what I can find here. That was the last stop. I'm a little exhausted now, and I still need to check into my lodging for tonight. But I did score Uncanny X-Men 450. Ghost Rider 15. Looks like 15 the second print. These are fillers, so Invincible Iron Man number 7, I needed them. And then number 9. I saw this Black Cat Infinite's Annual 1. I needed Thor number 5. Jane Foster. Scored this for cover price. Once in Future number 7, the 1 in 25. I scored another Nova number 4. 451, this was marked down. And then the new X-Men series, I have actually really enjoyed this artist, so I picked up this variant. It's a 1 in 50 cover. But overall, nothing big. I feel like I've only found stuff that's like not super expensive. I'm going to a store tomorrow that I think has more like really expensive Silver Age, so I'm hoping that it's a little bit better. But I've picked up some nice books, so I'm not like upset or anything. I've just been driving, I think, about like 3 hours between all the stores today. So we'll see what else we find in the next day. Good morning, folks. I just got to my next destination. It's hard to get a sign because of the way that you have to park here, but it's called Comically Speaking in Reading, Massachusetts. So my friends told me about it, so I'm gonna check it out to see what's good here, and we'll find out if I can grab anything good. Today, the shops I'm going to seem to have a lot of older books, at least that's what I'm like seeing on their websites and stuff, but I'm going out to like Western Massachusetts. see if I can find anything there. And there's a lot of stores, which I'm finding, and so I'm going to have to pick and choose. And I think today I'm going to try to be a little more picky. I feel like I'm having some pressure to walk out with something, so I need to like learn to be like, no, don't get stuff if you don't need it. So let's see. Okay, so I did okay. I found a better copy of Ms. Marvel 21 that I needed. Submariner number 6, which is the second appearance of Tiger Shark for $15. Marvel Team Up 100, which is the first Karma. Whenever I see it, I grab it. Champions 1. And then I got What If Spider-Man Joined the Fantastic Four. So I got a deal on these, which I was happy about. They did have Black Panther 1 there that I wanted to get, overpriced, and they had a couple Avengers Annual 10, which was overpriced. They wanted $600 for both, and I was like, those are raw and they're in shitty condition, but thank you. And then they had a big X-Men collection come in, but they haven't processed it yet. I was hoping they would be like, let's see what we got and see if we can give you a price, but I know it takes time. So on to the next one. Let's see. I'm feeling good today, but spending some money. We're at the Comics stop in Watertown, Massachusetts. Okay, this store was mostly newer stuff, but they did have some back issues, but I scored stuff for cheap. Like this one, I think this is my copy number 8. Nova number 2. High condition. These are great. Return of the Jedi 1 and 2 for cheap. Scored this one for super cheap too. Marvel Point 1. Got this for cover. This is the first America Chavez in the 616. And then I got this for my brother, which is Turek number 1. So we're doing good, and now is probably time for the long journey to the next shop, which is further out west in Massachusetts. So let's see how I do. Okay, now I'm at Hall of Comics in Southborough, Massachusetts. Getting farther west, so let's see what they have. Okay, that store was a bust. They pretty much have everything online, so luck of the draw. So, on to the next one. Okay, Bedrock Comics. They said this might be more promising than the other store. It was totally a, why would I have that in the store again? Seeing a trend here. But the last place I'm going to, they have an online store, but you can obviously buy everything in the store as well. And they specialize in Silver Age and early Bronze, so hoping for some good stuff. It is a drives away, so, and I had to make an appointment, so I think it's going to be a little more promising. So we'll find out. Last place is, they moved their store, so it's like a new space. It's called Superworld Comics in Holden, Massachusetts. They specialize in Silver Age books, so I'm hoping to find some good stuff there. They were very adamant on looking on their website, so I feel a little, I don't know, we'll see. I'm feeling a little defeated today, but it's all good. So they had a lot of big books, but nothing I really wanted for my collection. I was like, I could spend a lot of money and buy a bunch of stuff, or buy books that I want, or find books that are cheap. But I did find this for half price, Black Panther number 9. Submariner 31. Black Panther 13. And then I did pay this price, but I got Marvel Team Up Annual 1. So I was looking for this because it's early X-Men. I did chat them up for a while, and then I got a discount. Not much of one, but I got a discount. But I'm done for today. I think I'm going to try to find stores that are maybe more just high-end, because the ones that are newer, they have nothing big. So I'm going to do a little more research for the rest of my routes, and then we'll go from there. So that's it for today. Let's see what tomorrow brings.